Those boxing fans and professionals who were openly against the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight finally have another reason to boast about their opinions, as the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight has just been canceled for the second time. Mike Ty announced this sad news on his social media platform alongside most valuable promotions, as all fight week activities have also been suspended for the meantime, to ensure nothing overboard is happening.
Jingle where you don't know.
It's coming.
It's not how old you are, it's how old you feel.
I don't feel what the word old, I don't feel that.
No. Well, you're smart going into the...
Just when Mike Tyson looked to silence his naysayers with videos of his vigorous sparring sessions and training, where he went as far as knocking out a sparring partner, he has finally bowed his knees to the realities of his old age and waning health.
It's gonna be a rough night.
There is very little Mike Tyson could do regarding this, as those involved are the sanctioning bodies, and it was one of the agreements that they reached for the fight to be sanctioned. All parties agreed to allow themselves to be tested in as many ways and as many times as required. Hence, Tyson had been undergoing some tests and medications even in the gym to ensure he was free from any issue. But not to worry, he announced that the fight will only be postponed for a few weeks instead of months like it happened in May.
I feel that.
No. Well, you're smart going into the new wave.
No, it's always the old wave, it's always this.
Yeah.
I could do all this stuff and not have this and this.
Yeah, that's what you need. The will determine the skill.
Yeah.
It was announced after Tyson's recovery in May that the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight could be canceled hours before the bout starts, as Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were scheduled to fight on Friday. And that was because there remained one significant hurdle that has now caused another setback and stopped the controversial bout from getting the green light. Mike Tyson was meant to undergo last-minute medical tests ahead of his fight against Jake Paul to ensure the bout will go ahead on Friday. Well, what was more was that he would also undergo daily tests during the fight week, in the days leading up to the fight, to ensure there was no room for emergencies. Unfortunately, the very first test he took showed some health issues that needed some attention before they could go ahead with the fight.
I'm doing great. You know, I had a problem. What was that stuff called again? Baby, what's that?
No.
Huh?
Ulcer.
Ulcer. I had an ulcer, yeah.
Oh, that's not...
His training sessions have been quite strenuous, and despite him taking several precautions to prevent any unforeseen mishap, he needs intensive medical care. Training sessions have caused some damage to his body, which he'll need to recover from. However, it is expected that the heavyweight legend will come out of retirement to face YouTuber Paul in the month of November, 4 months after their originally scheduled bout was postponed due to Tyson suffering an ulcer flare-up. It isn't expected that this postponement takes so much time, except another crazy situation arises. Sadly, the fight could potentially be canceled altogether if officials are not satisfied with the 58-year-old's condition. TDLR is aware of media reports regarding an episode involving Mr. Tyson. At present, Mr. Tyson and Mr. Paul has met the medical requirements for this event. Telemange, communications manager at the Texas Department of License and Regulation, told World Boxing News, before the event, TDLR will conduct pre-fight physicals to ensure the health of both fighters.
That big. I mean, it's a big deal, but you can get past it.
Yeah, I got past it, thank God.
One of my neighbors in Puerto Rico dropped off medicine to heal ulcers to my house.
Tyson suffered the medical emergency on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles and was left lying on the bathroom floor, having coughed up blood. Tyson hasn't stepped into the ring since a draw in an exhibition match with Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago, and his last professional fight saw him retire after 5 rounds against Kevin McBride in 2020. Tyson's upcoming fight with Paul has been sanctioned as a professional bout, but could be downgraded to an exhibition if Tyson fails pre-fight medical checks. Mike Tyson, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion, has also disclosed that his affluent acquaintances have proposed financial incentives for him to withdraw from his forthcoming clash with Jake Paul. The 58-year-old is set to make an extraordinary comeback to the ring on November 15th against the YouTuber turned boxer. The eagerly anticipated fight is scheduled to take place at the Atant Stadium in Texas, potentially drawing a crowd of up to 80,000 spectators. Iron Mike was initially slated to face the Problem Child earlier this year, but had to pull out due to an ulcer flare-up during a flight.
So not only did they get the brother wrong, but they got the actual person with the ulcer wrong as well. Like, I got your ulcer medicine from my neighbor.
Despite the setback, the bout was rescheduled, and Tyson insists he will be ready to fight next Friday. Nonetheless, concerns linger over Tyson's well-being, given the 31-year age gap between him and Paul. Prominent boxing promoter Eddie Hearn is expected to be present at the Atant Stadium to back Katie Taylor in her highly anticipated rematch with Amanda Serrano. However, Hearn has stated he will not stay for the headline event. Speaking to BBC Sport, he said, "We received a massive offer for Katie. I'm not going to tell her she's not allowed to fight on that card," adding, "Financially, it's the biggest purse of her career. I won't be watching the main event. We'll be there defending the belts, and then I'll be off," reports the Mirror.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch one of my all-time favourite fighters, one of my heroes.
Hearn is not the only detractor of the heavyweight clash. Exclusive behind-the-scenes content from Tyson's training camp was released on Paul's Most Valuable Promotions YouTube channel, offering glimpses into his preparation for the upcoming fight. In a candid moment captured during a break in training, Iron Mike shared with his coaching staff that several affluent friends had desperately implored him to avoid entering the ring with the younger American opponent. He recounted their words in his reaction. "I have some friends. They're pretty wealthy," he shared. "They said, 'Don't fight, I'll give you money.' I'm like, 'You freaking crazy?'" His return to the ring came after a harrowing health scare that led to the postponement of the original fight date.
Heroes, I guess, in a boxing ring at 55 years of age, physically a shell of what he once was. I'm not saying abandon the fight. I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it.
In a confession made during a Netflix documentary, Tyson revealed a distressing incident prior to the fight where he collapsed, vomiting blood. "A week and a half ago, I was training and I was doing great, but then all of a sudden I started feeling tired," he disclosed. "I was explaining to my trainer, I don't know what's wrong with me." He continued, recounting his ordeal whilst traveling. "Coming here from Miami on the plane, I went to the bathroom and I threw up blood. The next thing I know, I'm on the floor, I was defecating tar. So I came here and they found I had a big ulcer, 2.5 inches, and it was bleeding. All my friends were calling me like I was dying."
453, but as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality, and in reality, I'm invincible.
Will you please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass?
Tyson expressed his desire to fight, saying, "I asked the doctor if I was going to die and she didn't say no. She said we have options though, and that's when I got nervous. I can't wait to get out of this place, man. God, I want to fight and start training. I don't want to die in the hospital bedroom. I want to die in the ring. You wouldn't believe what I endured from my ulcer. I lost 26 pounds. Can you imagine that? I was so pissed off because I had peaked. I was good, talking stuff ready." Tyson last fought professionally in 2005, retiring on the stool against Kevin McBride, but did participate in an exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago. Meanwhile, Paul, 27, is coming off a notable victory against Mike Perry in July. The exhibition boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, which was supposed to take place at Atant Stadium in Arlington, Texas on July 20th, was rescheduled after the boxing legend, Mike Tyson, suffered a medical scare on board a flight from Miami to Los Angeles, a few days resulting in the rescheduling of the competition.
My goodness, he's got a buddy right here. And not only do I have the honor of fighting one of the two most famous boxers to ever live, it's also happening live on Netflix.
Social media platforms and other news platforms had turned their attention towards the match, which everyone awaited for, but to their disappointment, they faced higher chances of failure after the 57-year-old boxing legend Mike Tyson had health complications prior to the awaited exhibition match. Thousands of fans who awaited for the match will have to face disappointment in case the match won't be happening, as they eagerly awaited to live stream it on Netflix.
You said the fight's gonna be on Netflix? What do you mean by that? Isn't Netflix where you go to watch movies?
It was until now. This is the first ever professional live sports event on Netflix. And with Netflix in over 500 million households and 260 million subscribers.
The incident, which was first reported by In Touch Weekly, comes as the former boxing legend Tyson was preparing for his planned summer fight in Texas with Jake Paul. Jake Paul, who currently is 27 years old, was set to take the most notable opponent of his career, the former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, the coming summer in a rematch which is recently on the lookout by everyone in the boxing sports. The fight attracted attention of everyone from the casual sporting fans to the seasoned fight fanatics, even until the health issues that happened to Mike Tyson.
Party, we out here, high altitude, Colorado Springs, with the Olympians Team USA Boxing. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm coming for you, Mike.
Despite the fact that Jake Paul was 3 decades younger than his opponent, the news of the fight never took him by surprise as he looked forward to it, until now that the fight faces chances of being canceled. The age differences didn't cause any issue of concern, being that Paul stood 3 inches taller than Tyson. His 76-inch reach was 5 inches more than that of Tyson, even with the exhibition fight being scheduled against the boxing legend Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's opponent had a professional boxing record of 9-1, with 6 wins coming by way of knockout, whom they were to participate in an exhibition match the coming summer. Jake Paul had revealed his expertise in the boxing arena in San Juan, Puerto Rico, against Ryan Borland, winning with several knockouts, proving that he was a qualified opponent against Mike Tyson in the exhibition match as planned. The return of the former boxing champion to the ring for a rematch with Jake Paul brought a new face into the boxing ring, with fans looking forward to the winner of the exhibition match. The two had traded insults and expletives a couple of days ago as they previewed the fight. Paul downplayed the suggestion that the 27-year-old social media star-turned-boxer hasn't had a legitimate opponent, while Tyson simply refused to answer a question about his age. The happenings of this were before the fight that was planned ahead of them faced the risk of being rescheduled after the health challenges Tyson faced during his flight from Miami.
Wait for the night of the 20th.
I'm gonna make you my girlfriend.
I'm gonna make Mike my girlfriend.
I'm gonna make sure you kiss me good with those big lips.
You take into the ring a lot.
The fight had been eagerly awaited by both of the competitors, as they had a lot of talks over the media on their expectations about the oncoming fight, which is now about to fail. Tyson, who won 50 fights with 44 knockouts before retiring, made claims about the fight that, "I was doing this years ago, so this is nothing new to me. This is new to this young boy over here."
USA, come on.
Now that Tyson had health complications, the foreseen fight might not be there as scheduled. Mike Tyson suffered a medical issue during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles International Airport. A spokesperson for the boxing legend confirmed to ABC News. In a written statement, Tyson's representative said the former heavyweight champion became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. The health complications might have a negative result on the fight, even though they happened for a short period of time. Fears of the fight being canceled paved the atmosphere, as the issue occurred weeks ago before the big fight happened. According to In Touch Weekly, passengers heard an announcement asking for medical professionals roughly 30 minutes before the plane landed in LA. Claims were revealed that passengers were reportedly delayed from disembarking for 25 minutes after the flight landed, so that paramedics could attend to Tyson during his visit to LA for the oncoming fight.
Fuck you, punk-ass white boy! Increasing fighter pay! Putting women's fighting on a pedestal! Look what I've done for this sport! You won't shit without me!
Further claims from Tyson's representatives told the New York Post in an email that he became nauseous and dizzy caused by an ulcer flare-up before landing. He appreciated the medical staff that were there to help him. The health issue raised a lot of concern about his presence in the fight with Jake Paul prior to his medical issues.
Everyone that is here. Hey, assalamu alaikum. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be invited here. I've been here on 3 different occasions, just for recreation. I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to all the events. Thank you.
Claims that the medical emergency of the legendary boxer caused a 2-hour flight delay were ridiculed by the boxer's representative, claiming the delay was caused by issues with the plane's air conditioning. The news came weeks before Tyson was to return to the ring. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were to compete in an official fight, sanctioned bout with 8 2-minute rounds using slightly larger gloves than normal. Pictures of the 58-year-old being wheeled through Los Angeles airport in a wheelchair went viral after Tyson became nauseous and dizzy around 30 minutes before landing, prompting talks over the internet about the fight he was to have with Jake Paul.
It's a friend of yours and you had to go in there and kill him.
This is business. If that was my mother, I have to decimate her as well. This is business.
In the fateful moment, eyewitnesses recounted the incident, noting Tyson's importance as a passenger and the urgency to ensure his well-being. An eyewitness in the plane narrated how the incident happened, saying that he was in first class, but we were in the exit row. They asked us to stay on the plane and landed so paramedics could enter. The stewardess said something like, "He's a really important passenger, so we want to make sure he's okay." I know it was him, but I just mouthed the words, "Mike Tyson," and she nodded her head yes.
I love you, man. I just love being with you.
Well, I love being with you as well.
Yeah.
It's both ways.
Yeah, I know. And I feel that from you. So, how many of you have been a fan of Mike Tyson for years?
The exhibition fight being at hand, Tyson admitted to having daily used marijuana in the past, but has now refrained from using the substance during his training for the upcoming fight, as it is listed as a banned substance by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Additionally, for a better performance in the oncoming exhibition fight, he added that he had temporarily abstained from sexual activity as part of his training regimen.
Boom!
Wait a minute!
Speaking to USA Today Sports, TDLR Communications Manager Telemange explained that fighters over the age of 36 must submit favorable results from an electroencephalogram and an electrocardiogram. Mange added that, "We can also request additional testing if we think it's appropriate." Despite the claims from his representatives that Mike is doing great after the health scare, it remains to be seen whether Tyson passes medical tests and is deemed fit to fight Paul this summer. Former British boxer Carl Froch made a significant claim about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul when discussing the contract details behind this summer's much-anticipated fight.
Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch, four-time world boxing champion, Hall of Famer. Right, listen, I'm sitting here in my study doing a bit of work.
Froch also explained that, from what I'm hearing with the contracts, allegedly, he gets paid less if he wins in round 1 Tyson, or if he gets a knockout, he gets paid even less. Froch told safe betting sites, "There's restrictions in his contract based on how he wins. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I've read somewhere that there's a clause in his contract that means he's going to earn less money if he goes out there and destroys Jake Paul."
Listen, as soon as I heard that, I just thought, this cannot be happening. You can't be putting a guy in his mid-20s in against a guy that's approaching 60 years old.
These claims towards the boxing champion proved the opportunity of the fight being cancelled. Evander Holyfield, who infamously had his ear bitten off by Tyson, made a bold claim about the former heavyweight champion ahead of his first professional bout when he was asked for a prediction.
See what could happen.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, it's with the confidence the other guy. I don't know how much confidence.
Holyfield told Fight Hub TV, "I don't know, it all depends on how Jake fights. The point of the matter is whether Jake Paul takes a good shot." He added that, "I have never seen him get hit by anybody, but you never know. Mike might just quit in the ring and sit down and say, 'I'm done.'" The boxer had no support over Mike Tyson seeing him as old to be back in the ring. In a series of posts on X, Sonnen claimed Paul wrote into the contract as Tyson's backup, while suggesting that his June 15th boxing match against old UFC rival Anderson Silva is a tuned-up ahead of that potential opening. Sonnen explained that, "I guess it was wise of Jake Paul to write me into the contract as Tyson's backup, wasn't it?" He added that, "If Jake Paul realizes he might be fighting me in a month, he might be the one having a heart attack."
Quicker, and if he stay close to Mike, then
the claims posed a great challenge towards the planned fight between Mike and Paul. Claims from other professionals made it clear that the dangers of Mike Tyson fighting at his age were pretty straightforward. What are your thoughts on the postponement of the fight for the second time? Do you think the fight should be canceled once and for all? Let's know your thoughts in the comments section, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.